When it comes to automation and IT, collecting data seems like it should be the easy part, right? But the hard part, the really hard part, is turning that simple need into a polished working web portal. It's a process that is just notoriously slow, incredibly expensive, and honestly a huge drain on your best developer resources. So today, we're going to talk about a tool that's designed to completely flip that broken workflow on its head.
So let me just ask you something right out of the gate. Think back to the last time you needed what you thought was a simple web form, maybe for a new client or an internal IT request. You know the drill. Now, be honest with yourself. How many hours did that really take? Was it actually simple, or did it kind of spiral into days and days of work?
And that spiral, well, that's what we're talking about here. It's the manual workflow problem. It's almost like this hidden tax you have to pay on every single project that needs a custom portal. And that tax gets paid in your most valuable currency, your developer's time.
Okay, take a look at this. Does this look familiar? It should. This is the treadmill that so many of us are stuck on. First, you've got to gather the requirements. Then, you have to design mockups. Then you hand it off to a developer to hand code the front end, maybe in Vue.js, build all the validation logic, integrate it, test it, and then, just when you think you're done, a stakeholder comes back and says, "Hey, can we make one small change?" And boom, you're right back on that treadmill. Revise, redeploy, maintain, rinse, and repeat for every single portal.
And what's the end result of this cycle? It's a massive bottleneck for the entire organization. It's slow because everything has to wait on a developer's schedule. It's expensive because that developer's time is worth a lot of money. And let's be real, the results are often these fragile, one-off projects that are a total nightmare to maintain and have no consistency across your company. All right, so this is where PortalSmith comes in and introduces a really fundamental shift in how you should think about this. The solution isn't to get faster at doing all that manual coding. The solution is to eliminate it entirely. The whole idea is simple. Generate, don't hand code.
And this slide right here, this is that aha moment. It perfectly illustrates the idea. Over on the left, you've got the PortalSmith Schema Builder. It's a clean, visual way to just define your form. And on the right, that's the final product, a polished, professional, totally functional portal. The magic here is that you go from the left side to the right side not in days, but in literal minutes.
So how in the world does this actually work? Well, it's all based on a concept called schema-driven generation, and it's pretty brilliant. Your job as the user is to just focus on the what. What are the data fields I need? What are the validation rules? You defined all that in a simple JSON schema. Then PortalSmith's engine takes over and builds the how. It generates the entire Vue.js portal, all the HTML, the JavaScript, the whole shebang, automatically.
And let me be really clear, this isn't just some simple form generator. Think about all that boring boilerplate code you always have to write. Things like automatic field validation, giving users the ability to save and load drafts, one-click exports to JSON or CSV, even a secure way to talk to your back-end APIs. All of that stuff is just built in. It's generated for you, saving you dozens of hours of repetitive coding on every single project.
Okay, so that's the tech. But let's talk about what really matters to the business, the ROI. Because this isn't just about making a developer's life easier, it's about reclaiming a massive amount of time and money.
All right, let's just set a baseline here. We've talked to countless engineers, IT teams, consultants, and when you ask them how long it takes to build one production-ready portal the old way,
The answer is almost always between 15 and 25 hours. I mean, that's 2 to 3 full days of a skilled developer's time for just one portal. Okay, now for the PortalSmith way. The time it takes to define that schema we talked about, and just click Generate, is less than an hour. And honestly, once you get the hang of the schema builder, we're talking about just a few minutes. The difference is it's staggering. So here's the bottom line. PortalSmith isn't an expense, it's an investment. And it's an investment that pays for itself on the very first project. That means the second portal you build is pure profit in terms of reclaimed time. And that value just keeps compounding with every single project your team takes on. Now you might be sitting there thinking, okay, I get it, but isn't this just another online form builder? And that's a fair question, but the answer is a hard no. PortalSmith is fundamentally different. You have to think of it as an engine that's designed to live right inside your automation infrastructure.
Just look at this comparison. Your typical SaaS builders, they're cloud dependent. They silo your data away. Integration is clunky, usually through webhooks, and they almost always charge you per user or per form. PortalSmith is the complete opposite. It's self-hosted, so it's secure in your own environment. It's Node-RED native, which means it plugs directly and seamlessly into your existing automation flows. The data just flows, and you can generate a totally unlimited number of portals. It's true infrastructure.
So, where are people actually using this? Honestly, the applications are incredibly broad, because let's face it, the need to collect structured data in a clean way is pretty much universal. I mean, we see it everywhere. Consultants are spinning up client intake portals in no time. IT teams are finally standardizing their operations forms. Compliance officers are using it for data collection. We see it used for job applications and for triggering really complex back-end automations. It's even perfect for just rapid prototyping. You can mock up a UI and validate an idea with a stakeholder in 5 minutes instead of 5 days without ever touching a line of front-end code.
And hey, to get you going even faster, PortalSmith also comes with a whole library of proven industry-specific templates. So whether you're in IT, HR, healthcare, banking, you can start with a professional, pre-built schema and have a portal ready for production in just a few minutes. You know, this really gets to the heart of why this tool is so good. It wasn't designed in some corporate vacuum. It was born from the very real, very painful frustration of its creators. Automation engineers who were just sick and tired of wasting their time rebuilding the same things over and over again. It was built to solve their own problem, which is exactly why it's so perfect at solving yours.
So let's bring this all home. What is the PortalSmith advantage? Well, the best way to think about it is as a force multiplier for your entire team.
So here's the deal, plain and simple. You go from a schema to a live, working portal in minutes. It's automation native, built for deep integration with Node-RED. It's secure because it's self-hosted in your environment. You get to design visually with the schema builder. All those powerful features like exports, validation, and drafts, they're just built in. It's one tool that lets you create infinite, consistent, professional portals.
So I'll just leave you with this one last thought. Forget about building the portal for a second. If you could instantly get back those 15 or 20 hours on your very next project, and the project after that, and the one after that, what bigger, more valuable problems could you and your team be solving? What would you build?